Hey guys, welcome into Guys Craft 2. So I have no idea why I am 4 minutes late. I thought I went live exactly at 4 o'clock, but fortunately, one of my buddies texted me and said, "You're not live. What's going on?" I have no idea. I hit the live button. I've been scrolling through the chat. I've been chit chatting, and you all have been crazy on the chat so far tonight. And so I am sorry. I have um, no idea what's been going on. So hopefully you can hear me now and see me. So Jen, welcome in. Hey Katrina, thanks for being here. Trina says it's been a long day. I'm trying to stay awake. Yes, I get that. Hey, Joydy, thanks for being here. Russ says he's a little exhausted. I think he's had a big weekend too. I get that and understand how that happens. BBMK, welcome. Thank you for being here from Phoenix. Hey, Brian, welcome in. Joydy, who else? Dale, thanks for being here. I had already talked to Sally and said, "Hey, welcome, thanks. I know you got a park party. Thanks for being here." I don't know if she's still here to hear any of that because that was all while I was chatting to myself, apparently, when I thought I was live. So we have a button over in the corner that says when you're live and for how long. So maybe in the future, I will try to pay attention to that because I just had no idea that I wasn't live. And I was just chit chatting right along with you all, just too crazy. Um, Jordy says, have fun at the party. Oh, yeah, we were talking about four legged friends. I tell you, I miss my four legged friends. I am not interested in having responsibility at this point. Um, and I can tell you, I sympathize with you all. I have got some type of frog going on in my throat. I have no idea what's going on. Apparently, it's a crud going around the valley right now. Interesting enough, I feel great. Don't have a temperature, nothing else going on. It's um, just makes me hoarse, I guess. And so, sorry about that. Y'all have to deal with that if you want to listen to me tonight. But hopefully, it'll get better. I live on Hall's cough drops, but I don't have any other illnesses in that. Funny enough, I went today. Don't know how you all feel about vaccines and all that kind of stuff, and don't care. Not trying to be political here at all. I have had some of the COVID shots, not every one, but decided today was a good day to go get both the COVID and flu. And mainly because I've got the cruise coming up, and because technically I'm going out of country. I've got a work trip coming up, going to Nashville for a week. And then I don't want to miss my Hallmark trip that's going to cost a bloomin' fortune and cut me out of buying a lot of fabric so I can go celebrate Christmas in Kansas City with Hallmark. So I thought with all the travel and stuff I've got coming up, I don't want to miss activities. And I just know it seems like COVID is going back around again, and more folks are getting it. It's just, I don't know. I guess it's something we will just have to live to the rest of our lives. Oh my goodness, talking about getting the dogs into the vets and that. I actually go tomorrow finally because I can only sleep between 6 and 7 hours. I'm a good 8.5 hour sleeper, but for some reason, my allergies have just really been bad this year. So it's taken. I'm finally going to an ear, nose, and throat specialist in that tomorrow to see if he can help me because it doesn't matter what medicine I take, whether it's um, oh my goodness, Claritin or Allegra or Zysol or whatever. And I wake up after about 6 hours or so, absolutely can't breathe and just not happening. Russ says, there you are. Hey, Katie Crafts, thanks for being here tonight. Barb's here. Barb Scott, welcome in. Thanks for being here. All you new subscribers, thank you. Means so much. I have picked up probably 40 subscribers in the last week. So just crazy, but thanks for being here. I so appreciate it. Um, Katrina said the emergency vet they recommended last time didn't work well with us. I get that. I had to do that unfortunately a few years ago, and I can tell you I wasn't pleased with our emergency vet. Um, BBMK says, whatever, the cooties are making their rounds down here. Better stay away from my place. I do not need strep. Amen to that. Hey, Charlotte, welcome in. Russ says when he got the shots together, he dreamed he lived downstairs from the Jefferson and they were surprising a surprise party for Wheezy. Oh my goodness. We don't even want to know what you dream about, Russ. I can only imagine. He always manages to crack me up. Uh, Jordy says, I'll be right back. Ryan says, when I got them both, I would have loved that dream. Amen. Only thing I have been fortunate, the only thing I typically get from the COVID shots, a really sore arm for a couple of days, and I don't let them put the both shots in the same arm, so I make them do separate arms. But we'll see. I did it last year and it worked out fine. So I don't know. Better than um, being sick while on vacation or as soon as you come back from the cruise and that. So nothing worse than going on a cruise and being gone from work for 7 days or whatever, and then coming back going, oops, can't come back to work because I'm still sick. So just crazy. Hey, Katie, the Greenland quilter. Look at you. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. So, guys, it has been a busy, crazy weekend. Um, my Friday just started so bizarre. So, I don't know if you know, I drive an electric vehicle. I love my electric vehicle. I have a Volkswagen. Um, I bought it mainly because I have such a long commute, about 45 minutes at best, the 3 days a week, sometimes 4 days a week. I have to go to the office. In Arizona, electric vehicles let me drive the HOV lanes at all times. Um, Coming home Friday, something flew up and hit the front of my car in the HOV lane and just wiped out the dashboard, wiped out half the sensors and electronics, and pushed the fenders up on the car in that. So fortunately, I was able to get over and get. I was close enough to home that I was able to get off the interstate and get down to the body shop. So I took it straight into the body shop. The body shop now has my beautiful new vehicle that I pamper and take care of because I believe in taking care of things that we're fortunate to have. Um, so I don't know. So it's in the body shop. They told me when it happened on, oh, it must have happened Thursday. Sorry, it happened Thursday. And that they wouldn't have time to look at it Friday, probably wouldn't have time to look at it Monday. So it would be probably Tuesday before they could even look at it to give me an estimate. Fortunately, I have rental car on the insurance. So now I'm back in a rental car. Of course, the rental car they give me has a quarter of a tank of gas. And so they're explaining that. And then I realized, oh, it means I have to go to the gas station. So I haven't been to the gas station in a year and a half. And so that was an experience, filling the car up. The biggest experience was just getting the car out of the parking lot. So the guy had started the car for me, left it running, which was fine. Of course, we have to do the walk around to make sure there's no damage on the car. And then he leaves, and I'm sitting there like an idiot trying to figure out where D is to put the car in drive. I have no idea why car manufacturers have now wanted to play with all things, drive and reverse and park. It is really not that complicated. So finally, a worker pulled another car next to me, and I had to get out and ask him if he was bright enough to figure out how to put this car in drive. And so he was able to show me how to make the car run. Now, what I have to remember is every time I get out of the car to put the car, not only put the car in park, but to also turn the car off. Because with the electric cars, when you get in, sit down, and push the button, they start going. So you don't physically, at least the Volkswagen, my big butt turns it on when I sit down in the seat. So it's just been crazy. So that's why my Thursday was. Friday was just trying to work from home and get things done. And I have just been crazy. So thanks, guys. Yes, there was no damage to me other than just freaking me out, scaring me to death. But it was all just damage to the car. But just just amazing. And it literally was like a box that flew up and hit the car. I don't understand how it could have possibly done that much damage in that. And I was just fortunate that it all stayed in mine. Um, it just stayed with me, right? So it didn't cause me to swerve in and do damage to something else or someone else in that. So I could not have been more fortunate. But yes, just crazy. Dale said he never had problems either. Shots the nurses in the waiting area had us doing aerobics to keep us from getting sore arms. Oh, that's a good idea, Katrina. I may try to think about that as I'm watching TV and doing some things. Just crazy. But yes, so that started off the going into the weekend. I actually, believe it or not, was good this weekend. Black Bag at my favorite quilt store was this weekend. That's where we do Bill's Black Bag, and we get 30% off certain almost every notion. You get one notion at 30% off, a bunch of other stuff. I actually did not go. Actually asked one of my friends if they went. They were actually at the store, and so they were telling me some of the things that were on sale. And I thought, you know what? I just don't need anything right now. And so I actually refrained from going to the store, spending money, and decided I would stay home and just work on what John wanted to work on. So, with that said, let's talk about a few things that I've knocked out, and I do want to get sewing a little bit tonight because I know you all just don't want to listen to me rattle on and on and on. I received these Nook and Cranny tools by Gypsy. They're rubbery plastic. I don't know if you all have seen them, if you all bought them. They're reusable silicone brushes. They did come in a kit that one of the kits I bought, I don't remember if it was with Open Gate Quilts or who it was, but they had given me a set. I had bought a set somewhere else. Now I have like 6 sets. They absolutely work amazing to get in here and clean out. So if you've not seen them, they're not all that expensive, and they are great, amazing tools. So just wanted to mention that tonight. If you all seen them on other channels or other people, but I ended up having to clean out my Juki today, and so that's what made me think about it. Hey, Stephanie, welcome in, welcome back. She's been a busy lady lately. Um, I did get the 12 Quilts of Valor, so I am working on doing something for Veterans Day. I will have something posted in the next week or so. Probably will be with Fat Quarters. You're absolutely invited to join the sew along for Veterans Day. I will get a link and some things posted out there in the next week, but I keep telling myself it's only September, so I have plenty of time. But I will get that done by the end of the month. I will tell you the pattern that I want to work on, hopefully together like we did for Labor Day, and give you time to order everything and um, get your materials together as well. So just kind of going through that. I will tell you, if you've not watched my video on the Quilts of Valors from De La Rosa, it's a great value. They've got 12 that they say, I guess, meets the requirements for Quilts of Valor. That's not why I'm doing it. I just thought it'd be fun to do patriotic, which someone suggested in the chat a couple of weeks ago for Veterans Day. Um, and, just to honor our vets. I mean, we've got so many men and women that have chosen to serve us in so many ways. My son's full-time Air Force. My family's always been a big supporter of the military. My niece works for the government, but her clients have always been, she basically works for the Navy or the Marines. And so we've always been a big military family. And just, to think the sacrifices and the things that our men and women go through is just amazing. But with that said, I will get that posted in the next week or so. I did find a fat quarter from Fat Quarter Shop that I had apparently bought about a year or so ago. So that is there. So I've got that, and I just want to make sure I get everything um, going. Katrina says you can wash the silicone tools off and use them over and over. That's another reason I like them. Hey, Candace, welcome in. Thanks for being here tonight. Because a lot of people use the pipe cleaners, which are great with the coffee stirrers. Uh, these just seem to make a lot of sense, and I like that they came in 4 different shapes and sizes. Um, BBMK says, I need to get some of those. I never remember to check 35th. I understand. Believe me. I end up making notes on my cell phone. So when I go to the store, I can check the notes to see if I have something at that store I want. And then sometimes I realize, okay, well, my cart's already full. I don't need to check the list because heaven forbid, I don't need to keep adding to it. Katrina says there was a couple of patterns in this group that she really liked. I bought them this morning. Yeah, Villa Rosa is typically $2 a piece if you want to get the hard copies, or they do digital. They don't do the digital download for the 12 quilts of Valor. You do have to do the order. I wanted all 12 cards. They were $14.95, which makes them almost $1 a piece. They also give you free shipping, which was a couple of bucks as well. They do come snail mail, which is snail mail, which just drives me nuts. And if you saw it on my Facebook post, it just took very long. And I can't complain, really, because I did order them, I think, on Saturday or Sunday. They shipped them on Monday, and the mail did actually bring them Saturday yesterday. So I did get them basically 5, 6 days, but I am just spoiled in a instantaneous world, and I like things just to happen immediately. So we'll see. What else? Oh, Dale said he got his today. I'm hoping he's talking about the. I have no idea what y'all talking about. I'm hoping it Quilt of Valor, but it's hard to keep up with the chat sometimes. Y'all chat so much, which is amazing and great. All right, let's see. Let me scroll. Oh, scrolling the wrong way, which even makes it worse. Hey, Melissa, welcome in. Thanks for being here. So, what else did I do? Oh, so believe it or not, I did have help to get the panel loaded correctly into Gracie. Gracie and I have not been getting along. Um, Gracie and I tried to work together yesterday, and I'm surprised some of the neighbors next door didn't come over to see what was going on because I'm sure it was quite a show. This morning, I decided I would tackle Gracie again. Gracie and I still did not get along. And so I finally decided I would just get on YouTube, and there had to be something on YouTube to teach me how to run this crazy QCT software in this unique long arm. So after searching quite a bit, I actually found a new friend called, her name is Marie, and she is the Quilted Poodle. And so a big shout out to Marie. She has some really cool videos on QCT software, specifically the QCT 6 upgrade. She talks about different things and that. She even offered to have a call with me today, but unfortunately it was right before my live, so we didn't get to have the call today. But we will probably become pretty good friends. If you have QCT software, or if you have a Qnique and you're interested in some of those things, her Quilted Poodle channel would absolutely be one you want to take a look at. But the good news is, although it is anywhere but perfect, which makes it another donation quilt, so it doesn't matter, I miraculously did get my first panel off the long arm. So look how adorable this is. So let me see if I can back up, stand up. So I purposely picked a panel I didn't care about. Actually, I think I bought these from my favorite quilt store here in Phoenix for like 35 bucks. Interesting enough, if you look at the characters on the panel itself, I think they're really cute. And I had this fabric in my stash, which to me just like matched this perfectly. And so I did just big circles around um, as far as the quilting itself, but I did manage to get it done. I've learned quite a bit, and I think that's part of it. It's great to have people that would be here to help you to point things out, but I think sometimes I learn better by trial and error. So I did realize I didn't roll down enough for the next row to start. So this row stitched into this row a little bit, but for a first time really solo, picking the pattern, putting the pattern together, and doing all that, I think I did pretty darn well. And I can tell you, whoever ends up with this quilt probably is not going to care. And that gets back to, sorry, trying to find my chair. Um, I, like I said, want to do something for Veterans Day. I want to do some holiday so-alongs, that kind of stuff. Um, I actually reached out to the Arizona Department of Human Services because we actually have a veterans um, nursing home in Phoenix. And one of the directors actually called me back because I called about making some donations and doing some things for our vets and helping support the guys and women that have helped keep our country free and able for us to do things that we do. He actually called me back Friday, was a super, super nice guy. We actually have three state run veterans homes, and one is in Phoenix, one is down in Yuma, which is right next to the Mexico border, and the other one is down in Tucson. So Phoenix is obviously the one that I would be working with donating to, but I'm hoping to get some of these quilts done, quilted out, and be able to take them down 1st of December. Definitely want to be able to do at least a quilt of valor, but I really would like to be able to put a couple of dozen quilts together, once or twice a year. I'm going to ask some of my friends that are in the quilt guild and that. I know we do actual quilts of valor. They do an amazing job with those. They are absolutely gorgeous, beautiful quilts. Not trying to take away from that or be involved with that in any way. They actually do a special reception where they present the servicemen and women with their quilt. They have a little reception, with cookies and coffee and that kind of stuff. And we speak and appreciate the service that they've provided, and then the servicemen and women speak and talk about their time in the service and that. So that is always fun. What I'm looking for is just random donations and that, not looking for necessarily always patriotic theme. This Christmas panel will probably end up because if I'm an older, elderly person in a nursing home that sits in a wheelchair all day, that could be a nice lap quilt for them. So looking for some of those type of things. So hopefully, I know our Quilt Guild has a couple of charities that they already support, but I also know a lot of my friends have closets full of quilts that they might appreciate seeing some of our veterans um, use and appreciate. So that's the plan for me. Not sure. Like I said, if y'all want to join in, that'll be great. I'll get the link and all that up for you in the next week or so. And then how you donate or who you make that for is completely on you. Hey, Vera, welcome in. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks, all of you. So blessed by Jess is here. Welcome in as well. Thanks. I am really happy the way that panel turned out. Interesting enough, I did stitch it in black thread um, because this panel itself just had so much black on it. But I also wanted to see the stitching. And so I kind of wanted the quilting to stand out because I wanted, again, I'm learning. So it wasn't so much about trying to blend it as much as I think the black worked really well on the front. But I wanted to see what my stitching looked like. All right, with that said, I think that's most of the announcements tonight. I was been working and I finally got all the pieces cut out for the Halloween quilt from the Open Gate quilt box. I finished that yesterday, got all those strips cut, everything ready to sew up tonight. And then I decided, I didn't feel like changing the bobbin. I didn't feel like changing the thread. And I didn't feel like really concentrating and reading the instructions so much. So that just happens. So I decided that I had this pre-cut kit that I had bought from the Quilt Kit Company and really just wanted to try because it is a complete pre-cut quilt. They actually had this one on sale. I think it was Memorial Day is when I bought this, and it just happened to pop up in my feed because now I guess these other stores have paid Facebook enough money to make sure that anytime I look at something, they send me pop-ups, but this one is in purple. And so I'm a purple freak anyways. And so I thought it would be fun to work on this. And the fact that I didn't have to cut all this out just made it even better, right? All right, guys, sorry about that. So tonight or this afternoon, while we are sitting here, I am going to work on half square triangles and see how that goes. I am supposed to go to the park home next weekend. But now that I don't have my own car, I'm not sure I want to drive the rental there. I will have to give my insurance company credit, or I guess enterprise rental credit. I hate renting cars. It always kills me how much we pay for car insurance, but yet when it comes to them reciprocating something back to us, you get this little vehicle and blah blah blah. They ended up putting me in a Mercedes SUV, uh, and I don't know what you all drive, but I will tell you, um, I'm not impressed and probably will never own a Mercedes. Just way more complicated than it needs to be. And I'll be very happy to get back in my own little vehicle because I absolutely love my car. And then after going to the gas station today and getting smelly gas all over my hands, I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is why I bought an electric vehicle. So, and then I realized, oh my gosh, not only do I have to buy gas, pump gas, and deal with all that, but I have to pay for the gas, which is crazy because I have not budgeted for something like that in years. So, again, I know you all laugh at me, and that's okay because we all have our things that we have to deal with. So, but it's just crazy. So I have this big a stack of half square triangles that I have to get together, and for this pattern. And so I thought, well, you know what? I can sit here, chat, get these done tonight. I doubt I'll get through one stack, let alone both stacks. But I thought it would be fun to chitty chat a little bit. I am excited to meet my new friend for a walk tonight, and we'll see how that goes because that's always exciting when you're out and about and trying to make new friends. And I will tell you, I can very much be a hermit. Um, it would be so easy for me to retire and never go out of the house. Amazon brings everything I want. The other day, I decided, I really need this and this from the store. Why don't you just run up the street in the compound and go to the grocery store and grab all that and do this and that? And you know what? I got back on the app and ordered everything from Walmart, and 5 hours later, some little lady was sitting all the stuff out front, so I didn't have to get in the car and go anywhere, and I thought, "You know what? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing anymore, 'cause, after working all week in that, I just don't wanna spend time in the grocery in that, and I'll be honest, sometimes when you're out in public anymore, people are so rude, they're pushy, they're in such a hurry, they're mad about everything. That's what I think is the worst part, and I think I just got spoiled during COVID. It was kinda nice to, just talk to people on YouTube that are just nice people, and we all share the same interest, and it's not so crazy after all. And yes, I have never chained peace. I don't know how to chain peace, and that's not happening tonight. And I'm sure some of you could mention that. I've watched Russ do it on his channel, and I just need to do it at some point. But I can assure you, I am not chain piecing during a live, at least for the first time. So we'll see. We will see how that goes. Um, Man, I'm so far behind on chat again. Yeah, Sabrina says you have to check about donating the required sizes and that. Quilts of Valor are a certain size, but they have a website you can check. Yes, and that's why I need to call the Veterans Home here in Phoenix and make sure that I understand what their requirements are and how they want them brought in and all that kind of stuff. But The guy that I talked to over at the headquarters could not have been any nicer. So it was just really kind of cool. Katrina says that's why she puts solar panels on the house. Her electric bills are less now than her water bill. I wish that was the case for me. I do have solar panels, and I definitely believe they have helped. I inherited them, so they were on a lease, so I'm still paying those. But I know compared to my neighbors that don't have them, my electric bill is much lower. But at the same time, it's not as low as I would like it to be. And then the worst thing is the park home is on the same bill. And I realized it still gets hot enough up there in the summertime that I need to leave the air on at least like at 80, 82, or it just gets too humid up there if you don't. And so that helped raise my bill this year. So I don't know. And unfortunately, I don't think I could really I don't even know if the park would allow it or if I would really want to spend the money to put panels there. So, but it's always something. Hmm, these are coming out pretty good, folks. All right, what else? I've been working on. Oh yeah, Katie says her electric water bill super cheap. It's her fuel bill. I remember her talking about that not too long ago on her channel. Um, Vera says she's been working on making wheelchair quilts to give away to a nursing home. So yeah, I think that's easy. Katrina says chain piecing makes the piecing go so much faster. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does, folks. You know, that's the one fun thing about watching my channel. As you know, still very new. Next month, October, will be just 2 years for me since I have started this. And, working full time, I'm not it's not like I get to sew every day. In fact, this is the first time this week I didn't even get to sew yesterday. I'm still just amazed that I'm able to hold a quarter-inch seam anymore. Um, BBMK says she cries when the APS electric bill comes, 900 square foot place, no washer dryer, no pool, 210 for the last month. I completely feel your pain, believe me, especially when you work for the other company versus APS. It just makes it even worse. Um, so, hey, Jackie, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here tonight. Dale says, I go to Walmart because it's a safe, climate controlled space to walk. I get that. Um, I We have a mall. We actually had an older mall when I lived in Phoenix that I used to like to go to and walk, but then it started getting more sketchy because there were so many stores that just left. But that was always a nice mall to walk. We have a mall close now where I live out here. The problem is it is always packed. It is, where everybody says malls are dying and going out of business. That's not the case if you saw this mall. It is just packed 24/7. I have just never seen anything like it. Or not 24/7, but if the doors are open, it's full. I went there about 2 months ago. Yeah, it was July. We went to pick up the Hallmark Christmas ornaments. Decided we would just grab something out of the food court. After we got our ornaments, we went the food court opened at 11. Grabbed the ornaments, which took all of 5 minutes. Went down to get Panda real quick, and took 35 minutes. There were so many people in line. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" On a Sunday morning, 35 people in line for Panda, and they have 8 or 10 other restaurants. But yeah, like everybody else, I wanted Panda that day. I haven't had Panda since. I don't eat out a lot. I'm not a big eater outer. Um, and that's that Kentucky comes out sometimes. Eater outer is a word in the South, just so y'all know. Y'all were wondering that. So, um, Rena says there's always a police car and flashing lights at the Walmart close to us. I don't go there anymore. That was more of a management thing. It truly is. We've got some of the grocery stores around here, and your management makes everything happen. So it's so funny. There's different stores. I'll be honest. One of the restaurants that I've never liked is Chili's, and Chili's has that $12 menu, which you get chips and salsa. You can get a soup or a salad. You get your hamburger or chicken sandwich and your drink for like 12 bucks. And well, anymore, that's cheaper than going to Walmart. And but I've never been a Chili's fan and absolutely love that Chili's. I've not been to that Chili's that I've not had a good hot meal, amazing service. And I thought, you know what? It's so funny because it really isn't about the chain itself. It's about the management that's in the restaurant. So, but again, I just don't eat out anymore. It's just I'd so much rather cook. So that's what I tend to do. I haven't really had anything to eat today, which is kind of crazy. I did make tuna salad. I like tuna salad. I did make tuna salad today. I did buy some hamburger patties because I've been craving a hamburger. And the other day I thought, let me get a hamburger. And I was going to stop somewhere and get it. And I thought, you know what? I just soon go home, get the groceries, and make it myself. I just make such better hamburgers than most of these places do. And as high as groceries are, it's still cheaper to eat at home than it is at these restaurants anymore. And especially, I mean, you go to Subway, it's 11, $12 for a foot long now, and the cashier wants a tip. I'm like, oh my gosh, and you're all making like 15, $20 an hour. I used to make 3.35 an hour back in the day, and we certainly didn't get to ask for a tip. So I don't know. It's just, I guess that's when I start showing my age, folks. Sorry. Um, Jackie says she hadn't heard either outer since she left Florida. See, it's a word. Vera says, "What are they charging to install panels here? So outrageous. I don't think it's worth it. Some friends of mine had them installed, just three-story. Yeah, 80,000 sounds about right. I think that's what it is here. Mine are on lease, so I have to pay a monthly fee. But even paying the monthly fee and time I tack that on to like the summer electric bill, it's still cheaper than what some of my neighbors are paying. And then I get about 4 months, 5 months where I actually get sell electricity back to the company. So right before summer starts, I usually have a decent credit, which helps that first big bill. So that makes all the difference. Katrina says, I think John is talking Johnlish. To maybe make up my own words a little bit. That's what makes me precious. All right. Katrina says she had tuna salad for lunch. See, I don't know. I've always liked tuna salad for some reason. I've been eating a lot of chicken salad and actually looked in the cabinet yesterday and realized I had 3 cans of tuna, which is really unusual because I do like buying the pouches of tuna better. But I think I had got these at Sam's, not realizing when I did curbside that the tuna actually comes in a can and not in the pouch. But that's fine. Still worked out, still tasted good. Oh, Maureen, happy first day of fall. It was fall here today. We did not get triple digits today. So, how amazing for that. Hey, Martha, thanks for being here. You're never late. Actually, I was late today. I thought I started the live at 4 o'clock like I was supposed to. And then, fortunately, Russ hit me up and said, "Where are you? Why aren't you doing your live?" And I looked over in the corner and realized I guess I didn't hit the right button. So I was actually a few minutes late, which was worse because I'd already talked for a good 5 minutes. So, but thanks for being here. Always appreciate you being here. Oh, Jackie says she has an Empower box. Runs about 300, 350 in the summer and $100 in the winter for 1,800 square foot house. Yep, we have. That's one of the things our company does is the Empower boxes, and so it's a prepaid plan here, and a lot of snowbirds like it because they can do that and just let the money run out. They're not going to be here in the summer, and then all they have to do is log into their account and put money right back on to get things going again. All right, make sure I'm twisting and turning these correctly. Wow, it's going to be a lot of half square triangles, and the worst part is then I got to iron and press them all open, and they want to press the seams open, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, you can want anything, whether or not it happens is another story, right? So let's keep going. See, this is why I think another reason I'm not chain piecing is because just trying to get these lined up right now for me seems to be taking enough concentration. Um, yeah, she says too much money to save money. Oh no, you all don't, Joy. You don't need to encourage Russ. He's encourageable already. Now, Katrina says that's almost triple what they paid 7 years ago. Yeah, and and the incentives aren't there like they used to be too. So they used to incentivize you so much to get them, but I think that ebbs and flows too. So we'll see. I did see, interesting enough, because years ago I worked for a nuclear company, and I did see on the news the other day that apparently they're um, they're looking now to reopen 3 Mile Island and possibly 3 or 4 other nuclear facilities. So I thought that was very interesting that the U.S. is getting back into nuclear energy, which unfortunately it is actually the cleanest um, and most environmentally friendly of all energies that are out there. But it got such a bad rap with um, poor construction and things like that, that definitely makes people fearful. So I completely understand. I know both sides of the story, and I can sit and argue both ways, and um, it's just scary. But we are a energy consumer society, and I can tell you, working for an electric company, we have to do something, or we are not going to have enough electricity to fund everything that we want as Americans, as we definitely consume the electricity. I actually try to keep my lights off, keep things down, even though I've switched to all LED bulbs and that now. But I still try to keep things pretty level set, and that's just because, unfortunately, the utility that I have to get electricity from is one of the highest in the country and just not a good utility. So, trying to make sure I don't give them any more money than I absolutely have to. But I will tell you, I am going to be cool in the summertime. I'm not going to sit in the house all day and sweat either. Jordy said it was 90 there today, and now it's 79. See, it's just amazing how quick all of a sudden summer gets or fall gets here. Makes me want to start getting my pumpkins out and my Halloween goodies and all that. And I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with those because I'm not having a Halloween party this year. It'll be the first time in 3 years that I haven't hosted a Halloween party. Interesting enough, I noticed somebody else has already um, posted that they're having one, which is fine. Um, but I am doing the Halloween cruise this year. So I am anxious to do that. Um, Dealing actually with one of the vendors that I bought an outfit from for the cruise and realized I guess I've gotten scammed. So tomorrow I've got to report that to the credit card company and deal with that, which is always fun. But it's kind of my own fault for taking a chance on someone that you don't know. These scammers have gotten so good about how they do things. And interesting enough, um, the company that I bought the outfit from sends me literally 2 emails a day about different sales and different things that they have in that, but yet they can't answer the 2 emails I've written to them about my order. So, and then when I Google them to see if they're legit in that, there's just all kinds of feedback in that. So I will be working on that next. Jody says, I hate the heat. She needs to move to New England. I don't mind the heat. I never want to see a snowflake the rest of my life. Unfortunately, I'm sure Kansas is not going to be warm in December. And I'm just hoping that Stitch in Heaven is going to be warm outside of Dallas when I'm down there for New Year's Eve. But we'll see. It is what it is. I've already paid for it. I'm going to make some new peeps over at Stitch in Heaven. So I'm anxious to see who shows up. Stephanie's the one that got that started because she had gone there to do the applique retreat. She did an amazing job posting about them and what they do. And plus, the issue is it's hard to get into Stephanie's retreats because she's doing one New Year's Eve because her retreats sell out like in 5 minutes. And so that just tells me that she just needs to add many more to her schedule. And I think the poor lady is so worked right now that she doesn't need any more on her schedule. But she's got such a super personality and she's just so helpful. I love watching her channel. Russ says one of his thermostats insisted it was 100 today. See, y'all want to live in the South, and you got all the humidity too. I'm glad to let you all have the humidity. At least we don't shovel sunshine out in Arizona. Greenland 50 is nice to me. Ryan's in Southern Maryland. Dallas has ice storms, so be aware. I am. Interesting enough, the last company I worked for before they sold was based in Irving. So I have been through Dallas Fort Worth many times. Like the area, but you're right. I've typically avoided them, especially January, February, because they do get the ice storms just like Atlanta in those areas. So that's the worst part with some of those days or cities is that they get cool enough to kind of have a winter, but not um, so cold to get the snow, which makes it just worse. Oh, Jackie says they're heading back to 15 days of over 100. Yuck. Oh my goodness. Jackie, where are you? Um, Jordy came up to New England. It's more here. Georgia is hot. Georgia, the worst thing about Georgia is the bugs and all the humidity. It's just, I just remember just, you're always wet. It's always just wet. I did get my new insert for my new sewing table. I am so happy. I love my sewing setup in that. Now I'm hoping to get this Juki up to the park home in the next month or so and quit carrying it back and forth. I want to order the new 18 QVP that's coming out, the Platinum Edition. I am on the wait list, pre-order list from Sewing Machines Plus, and I am just waiting for them to call me to let me know that they got the shipment in. I should get one because I did. I mean, within the first hour of them sending the email to get on the list and pay your deposit, I did. So I'm hoping that gets me one because if you're not in the first batch, they have one other batch coming, but it's not until December. And I'd really like to be able to get my machine situated. I have not heard from the couple up in the park home up in Shady Pines that does handiwork for me, so I don't know if they got my sewing table and all that up there set up. I was hoping they did it this weekend because I was supposed to go next weekend, but we'll see. I don't know that I'm going to go up just um, because of the rental car and all that. I just don't know that I want to drive that far. It's bad enough having to drive back and forth to work 45 minutes in that and not get to drive in the HOV lane. Funny the things that we do to let us spoil ourselves. Okay, I want you all to see I do have a decent stack going, and I have been pretty good about just keeping these going. And man, I still got a lot of these to do. There are 100 plus half square triangles. And then once I get all these done, I have to press them and get them all shaped. But then I only have to put then all the squares and everything matched up. So hopefully this quilt goes together pretty quick. I need to really work my AccuQuilt more because these almost feel to me like they've probably been cut on the AccuQuilt. They're definitely not laser cut like Jordan fabrics, I know. And I haven't bought from Jordan forever. I used to buy from them quite a bit, but then I don't know. It's just a kind of ebb and flow sometimes. It seems like. Um, Sorry. You tell squirrels sometimes I have too much going on in my little head. Brian says, I think about moving north when I retire. I like the season changes. Oh, God love you. Somebody's got to like them. And never want to see season changes again. The seasons change more in Arizona and Phoenix than I thought they would because we get pretty cold in the wintertime. Um, I would be happy if it was between um, if it was in the 70s and 80s year round. Would never bother me. I'd like to stay under triple digits, but I don't want anything under 70, 75. I am very code natured. Right. Um, Brian says, "Don't tell John, but I love the snow." See, not me. Just not. It's not even pretty to be. I love snow in a Hallmark movie. Oh, and Hallmark just had two new movies that came out yesterday, and I recorded both of those because I knew I wouldn't. Well, number one, I knew I probably wouldn't stop and catch them live, and number two, I absolutely did not. I don't want to sit through commercials anymore. So I'd much rather watch something the next day so I can fast forward through the commercials, which kills me on some of the channels. They block it so you can't do that. It's if you go back and try to do instant feed or whatever they call it. Um, so that's why I DVR mine instead. See, Joy's with me. 70s are the best. He said, "Don't forget about the scorpions and the rattlesnakes." I have not seen a rattlesnake since I've lived here. Praise Jesus. I've only seen a scorpion um, under a cup on a kitchen counter. So one of my friends, when I was first moving here, caught a scorpion in his house, and he actually caught it, put it in a cup, and put it on the kitchen counter. So when I got there, I could see what a scorpion looked like. So hopefully, where I'm told by my pest control that comes every month that this part of Phoenix area uh, tends to have very few, if any, scorpion. So I'm trusting that. But we do have coyotes. I tell you, that's crazy enough to me. Um, Dale says, I like Northern Illinois. We have everything in moderation. Moderation makes all the difference. Yeah, and California does have the best weather, right? See, San Diego, I could be so happy in San Diego, next to the ocean, all of that. It's a pretty temperate climate year round. I just can't afford to live there is the problem. Now, if I win the lottery, and yes, I buy lottery tickets, because can you imagine if I won the lottery? I could have so much fabric, and I could have all the Tula pink fabric I ever wanted. I get so frustrated watching Adam sews, and Adam has just all that bookshelf full of Tula pink. Like, oh my gosh, how amazing is that? I would um, love to have that much.
Okay. Turn
Sorry, I had to yell at my speaker because I had a reminder set. It keeps going off in the other room, and I can't call that name out because if I do, she's sitting next to me here, and she'll start talking to me again, which is just crazy. That's part of the problem when you have those type of devices in every room. But I will say I've gotten lazy and very spoiled, and I don't like turning on and off the lights anymore. It took a couple of months to finally get all of that set up in the park home, but it's so nice now. And what's really nice is I can program it. Just tell her to turn the lights on and off, or to turn them on for so long, or I can even put a routine that will turn the lights on and off for me and make it seem more like I'm there. The problem is with the carport, it's pretty obvious that I'm not there, but still, they don't know that someone's not inside um, without the car. So we'll see. All right, let's do one more. Let's catch up on chat. Oh my gosh, folks, and we're just over the hour. I could actually talk all night tonight. I'm actually enjoying this and enjoying the chat. You all are so special. And I look so forward every week to being able to be with you all. Maureen says, I like to have the Four Seasons, a New Englander through and through. I would love to go to New England. I would love to go up where they film some of those Hallmark movies and that. If they could just drop me in for a day or two, let me see everything, and then pick me up and take me right back out. It's just crazy. Martha says, keep your shoes up on the shelf so scorpions can't get in them. Smaller sleep all winter, so all you have to do. Oh, come on. Uh, all you have to worry about is coyotes and night owls. Oh, I've not seen night owls. You're the first one to ever say anything about night owls. We do have, I do have a bobcat that I see every so often just strolling around like he owns the place. And that's fine with me. I don't bother him and he don't bother me. Jackie says they've had a few scorpions in Dad's den in the summer. Sure, it's because he has a gap in the door. All right. Jody says, I don't mind the owls. They're up in the trees. It's the creepy, crawly things I don't like. Amen. Oh, I remember Georgia having scorpions. And the reason I know is because I lived in North Augusta, South Carolina. We had just moved there. We actually paid to have pine needles brought to the yard because I didn't realize that all the pine trees we have drop all the pine needles. And that's what they use for mulch down there. And we were out there raking, throwing pine needles everywhere with our hands and our arms. Kids were helping. We were having a good time. The neighbor across the street comes screaming at us, hollering, and like, have you lost your mind? What are you doing? And of course, being from Kentucky, we didn't know that apparently scorpions love to nest in the pine needle. And so you never want to stick your hand in that in those because of that. So again, we learned a lot. We also learned that we had snakes in the backyard occasionally, and when the kids would find a snake out in the yard, every so often, the kids knew that we went to Mr. Mike, our neighbor. Mr. Mike, our neighbor, came over and got Mr. Snake for us because Daddy doesn't know enough about snakes. Not necessarily I'm scared of them, but I just don't know enough about snakes. So I don't know what's poisonous, what's dangerous, and what's not. So I choose to just avoid those. And we had good enough neighbors in the South. They came and took care of those for us. So, guys, it is 5 after. I so appreciate each and every one of you being here. Tonight was a great night. I am going to continue to work on a few half square triangles. I am going for a walk out in a park for a little bit and trying to enjoy some of this cooler weather. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope everything goes your way. Stay safe. And as always, until next time, happy crafting.